Hey everyone, welcome to an expert deathmatch 1 vs 1 game, and today we have a very exciting Jap war between Leisure in the blue and Reincarnated in the teal. Reincarnated is also known as Priest, and they're playing as the Japanese, as I have said. We can see that Reincarnated seems to be going for a 2 barracks and multiple archery range opening, and a monastery for some reason, whereas Blue is going for multiple barracks and a lot more houses than anything. We have the Japanese. It's a pretty weak deathmatch civilization, and we can see a light cav coming here trying to get a Vil kill, but it looks like he already garrisoned him that fast. But anyway, the Japanese are a pretty weak deathmatch civ because you don't have strong cavalry, you don't really have strong siege, and this is AOC, so they don't even have bloodlines. So they're really a pretty weak civilization. Sorry, Spirit of the Law. But they do have a few fun gimmicks, and in a Jap war, the game is basically balanced because you're both the same civ, so that doesn't really matter. If we look at the maps, we can see that Leisure has 3 golds all right below him. So Reincarnated should try to capture this area right here in order to keep these golds from getting captured by Leisure. However, I doubt that's going to happen because it's so close to Leisure's base. They're both pretty far apart from each other and have this big hill in the middle, with a gold, actually 2 golds basically, on Reincarnated's side. So Reincarnated, he has a open gold here, and few open golds here. However, these are the 2 mid golds, and they're a lot closer to Teal's base, so I give him an advantage there. And he has a pretty nice back gold, whereas Blue's 2 golds, 3 golds rather, are all right in the same spot. If we look at the engagements, we can see that Jap wars oftentimes consist of infantry, arbalests, and hand cannoneers. I'd probably prefer heavy scorpions, but again, they don't really... It's hard to field heavy scorpions well in the early game in a deathmatch because it takes so long to make them. Instead, our friend in the teal has decided to go early castles and get those awesome Jap trebs out, because Japanese trebs are by far the best in the game. They took out enemy buildings soon. But Leisure has gained map control and started to take the middle. But his villager has been killed here, which is unfortunate, and he really needs to send some villagers over here into the middle in order to create a castle here. Because, yeah, you can have your army on a hill, but a few onagers can come, and they'll all die. You need to get a castle on this hill in order for it to really be worthwhile. However, it looks like Reincarnated's creating his own army. He has a few samurai in the mix. To be honest, samurai, they're a fine unit. They're basically champions, so they don't do that well against things that aren't unique units. But it's still a good unit for the Japanese to make. And they come from castles, which you definitely want anyway, so I think it's a good idea. This engagement, Leisure would have the advantage in theory because he has the hill, but it looks like Reincarnated simply has more units, a trebuchet, a few onagers coming, so he's going to start to push back Leisure's army. Leisure's going to keep those fragile arbalests alive, which is definitely the right choice. Got to move them back, because arbalests, they're really not a great unit in deathmatch, so if you make them, you got to keep them alive, because they're pretty weak. And I guess you want to keep them alive because they're weak and you don't want to spend the money to rebuild them. Again, Leisure only sending 1 villager forward. If he had had a castle here when this engagement happened, it would have been completely different. Instead, though, he's decided to make several town centers on his stone, his golds, started his economy going. He is housed, though. No, Reincarnated is housed. So you won't got to keep that in mind. And again, look at this. They're both starting to get their economy up. Not even 10 minutes. People unfamiliar with deathmatch say, oh, wait till you've spent all your resources. But no. You need to keep your army strong at all points in the game, which means start your economy fast. Yeah, every now and then you might not make more economy if you're trying to win and you think you can win in the first 5 minutes, but that doesn't happen that often. The onager can be really helpful, though, and just shows how fragile these arbalests are, because yeah, they're a good support unit, they'll kill infantry, but just a few onagers in the mix forces all of these arbalests to retreat or to get killed. So we're getting some pretty nice value out of this one single onager, and it's not even a siege onager. And the Japanese, they have trouble dealing with onagers, especially in AOC, because they miss bloodlines, so their cavalry is pretty subpar. Reincarnated has taken control of this hill right here for now, with the arbalests and onagers coming to back it up, but we could see some different things happening as Leisure comes in with these samurai and is going to catch these onagers out of position. Get a nice shot on them, two onagers down, a bunch of arbalests down. Samurai, it's an interesting unit because champions, they're a statistically strong-ish unit, but they have little bonus damage, and they get countered by things that are faster than them or tougher than them, like paladins, and even by arbalests. But they can deal with siege if you patrol correctly. It's hard to tell who's really gaining the advantage here. I'd have to give it to Reincarnated. You can see that he's already adding in a few skirmishers to counter these arbalests cost efficiently. And you oftentimes hear, oh, it's a deathmatch game, don't make trash units. Well, that comes with a caveat. Don't make trash units in a team game or in the first 5 minutes, unless you're making halbs. Because you want more powerful units out on the field, and skirmishers, they only counter archer units, and halberdiers, they only counter cavalry units. But they're way cheaper, and in a 1v1 where you have limited gold supplies and no trade, I'd definitely say it's worth it to make skirmishers and hussars and halberdiers, or it's worth it to make halberdiers anyway, because they counter paladins. But, just food for thought. If we look at the army size, it looks like Reincarnated's army is out of position. Again, he needs a castle right here. Yeah, there's a castle that's kinda on the hill, but if you get a treb right here, it'll be downhill. That's kind of a stupid position for it, if you ask me. Oh, we can see a few... Oh! 1 for 3 onager shots. I guess he did lose 2 right there. But that's some value on those onagers. However, the few in the back for Reincarnated will deal with a lot of these samurai. But the skirmishers are coming in, and they are poking away at their opponents, but they're just crumbling to these onagers. And yep, as I said, the trebuchets on a hill are going to have an easy time dealing with this castle. If he had built it here, I guess they could have destroyed the castle earlier, but that was a mistake not to build it here. He lost that engagement again, just like Leisure did earlier, because he didn't have the castle. Over in Blue's position, if you look at his gold count, he is losing his gold quickly. Yeah, he does have a lot of villagers on gold, but it's still not as good as it needs. If you look at his total villager count, oh, I could just look at the overlay. Yeah, he's at 80 villagers, so you really need to be... I think in a Japanese war, you want about 110, maybe 100 villagers, because you have a lot fewer... You have more units on the field that are cheaper, so you don't need quite as big of an economy to use the 200 population. But, again, Leisure is struggling with population at only 150, while our friend in the teal has about 30 more pop than him. So that's definitely strong. And finally, the castle, as I've requested. But the onager, is it going to come and take the castle out? Oh! That onager is going to deny this castle. We have a dot castle right here. Yeah, now is the time to micro those arbalests. Now's not the time to retreat. If we switch over to Blue's point of view, oh, his castle's going to go down. Oh, and he loses the castle. He didn't delete it, so I don't think he got the stone back. I wasn't paying attention to the stone counts, anyway. And again, Reincarnated putting the castle at the same spot he did previously. He needs it on the top of the hill. Yeah, sure, you want your units right there, but the castle right there means that it's a lot harder for your opponents to take it down with trebuchets. We can see that farms are starting to be started by Blue. I think he's already made these, probably about the 15-minute mark. Same thing for Teal. And, you know, as I criticize these players, I just want to say that if I was in one of theirs position, I'd be dead already. Because they're managing so much. I mean, they're making army. This is on single queue, so it's a lot harder to make army because you have to manually go through each and every building. Over at the top, you know, they're trying to raid. And as I said previously, this is an interesting map, because in most deathmatch games, you want large areas of map control all around the map. But in this game, the only golds are basically right here, in this area, in Leisure's base, in Reincarnated space, and right here in Leisure's base. So you can't really get map control in the way that you would normally in order to flank, because there's really not any golds to get there. And, of course, with bad cavalry, it's difficult to raid. On the other hand, these samurai trying to come out and kill something, and they were caught out of position. Oh, and there's a huge engagement up top. Some more onager kills, more arbalest kills. This shows kind of how weird it is to play with civilizations that are archer dominant. Because of course you're going to make siege to counter it, but your siege isn't that great, so it just gets eliminated. We saw some nice use of trebs right here, I think, against these. Sorry, I missed that engagement. But the samurai are finally coming up, and they will deal a lot of damage to this army right here, because there's no arbalests or hand cannoneers to counter them. And, or not very many anyway. You can see, I think these are quick wall attempts by Reincarnated in order to keep these units blocked around right here so he can get onager shots. That's really smart. That's a pretty meta move right there. But the trebs are taking down the castle. Again, the castle that should have been right here where the archery range is. And the samurai are going to take down these villagers. Few arbalests coming in now from our friend in the teal, but arbalests are just not, I don't know. These onagers are going to deal with them. But they are in the right place at the right time. They're forcing the samurai to go back. But it's official that Reincarnated has lost the hill. If you look at the resource count, it seems that, oh no, Blue has bad resources. But in reality, he has about 100 villagers, and he's using his resources effectively. So therefore, I'd say he's in a good spot. If we look at Teal, on the other hand, he's banking 4,000 gold. Oh, and look at some big engagements right here. The samurai just chew up the arbalests, because once they get in close, they destroy it. Teal was able to get this castle up here, but it's fine. It's going to go down soon anyway, but it did deal damage to these units, which is nice, but it's too few, too little. And the GG comes in from Teal, who is Reincarnated. This was a very interesting game, showed some nice back and forth action, and it just showed how important it is to have some presence of mind to make sure that your units are in the right place at the right time, and that you have a strong army composition. Again, even though arbalests in theory are a strong unit in this matchup because they deal with the infantry, it's not the correct unit in my opinion, because samurai are faster than champions so they can catch up to the arbalest, and the onagers can absolutely destroy them, and we saw several big onager shots this game. And I'd say the fatal flaw from both players was just the failure to really secure this hill. Neither of them were really struggling for stone, I can tell. And on Reincarnated's part, you can see he's banking a lot of gold. You do not want to bank gold. Sure, you might want to have it in the banks, that way your opponent won't get it, but if it's in the bank, it's not being there. Like, see that 4,000 gold? He could have sold some of that, and he could have made a lot more onagers with it. Or he could have used it to make some cavaliers to take out the enemy siege. But right now, that 4,500 gold, that gold's nothing. It's gone because the game is over. And I criticize him because this is something that I do myself in many games. So I want to give a caveat when I say that. But anyway, very interesting game. It's not a good deathmatch civ at all, so this is not a normal matchup. You normally see something like Hun War, or Goth War, or Frank War. But it's still a very exciting game. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this, and tell me if you want to see more of this type of video from me. I've been starting to watch a bit more expert games. The scene on Foobly is becoming a lot more alive. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.